Little rivalry with me and Forsyth going on. A lot riding on this game. Go Irish.
Do you know anyone staff at all?
Yeah, on the coaching staff, yeah, a lot of the guys that are still coaching there coached me when I was in high school. So, and then Coach Line got there at the end of my senior year. So, I know a lot of those guys on the staff, and I'll be cheering for them on Friday.
So if you win, does like Alex have to warm up Saturday in a Sheldon sweatshirt or something like that?
I could probably arrange some Irish gear for him. I think that would be a fair way to go about things.
What was just your week like last week? How close were you to maybe not even playing? Just what did you have to go through to get out there?
Yeah, it was a lot of rehab. I was in the training room a little bit last week, and Coach Love helped me out getting on the field on Wednesday and Thursday, doing some stuff. Our training staff was great. Trav, Chief, Miss Steph, Rachel, they were all awesome. They really did a good job of helping me be ready to go on Saturday, and just went out and did the best I could, and I was glad we were able to get a win.
How difficult is the prospect of last week potentially playing a position that you haven't played often this year while working with a quarterback that you may not have played with this year, and just all that uncertainty?
Yeah, Bo and I have worked together quite a bit, just in practice and things like that. Obviously, the game's a different speed, but we felt like we had good continuity going into the game, and so we weren't really worried about that on Saturday.
How tough was it just to not have Alex out there, kind of schematics aside?
Sure, yeah. Being the vocal leader of the group, we love having Alex out there. He's a great vocal leader. He's tough. He really defines what offensive line plays about, and so not having him, we obviously missed him a little bit, but we're going to be happy to have him back on this Saturday.
What was it like to see Steven finally get back out there? And he had a long road to get back.
Right, yeah. He missed a lot of games, and, you feel for him. But I was super glad to have him back out there. And obviously we needed it. We were a little thin this week, and so it was really good timing. And Steve's a great player, and so it was really good to have him back.
Being an in-state kid, just what does this game mean to you?
Yeah, it's a big game. State's really divided over Oregon State, and definitely a good rivalry. So it'll be fun on Saturday. We know it's going to be a hostile environment up there, and we're looking forward to it.
Is there any similarities in preparing for Oregon State than what you did last week preparing for Utah? Do they run anything similar?
Not super similar. They're definitely a little bit of a different style of defense. More simulated pressures we're going to see this week, whereas Utah was bringing 6. They brought the house on us quite a few times, and they wanted to test us. I think with Bo's lack of mobility and the shuffling we had on the O-line, I think Utah wanted to challenge us like that. And I think with Oregon State, we're going to see a little bit more simulated pressures. Coach Dillingham saying they're more of a quarters team, so some differences this week compared to last.
Do you have a rivalry game that you remember watching growing up that really sticks in your mind?
Yeah, the 2009 game, the War for the Roses, the Jeremiah Masoli play on 4th and 3. That one definitely jumps out at me. Great throwback jerseys that game too. That's the one that jumps out at me. I was also in Corvallis in 2008 when I think they put up 65 and Jeremiah Johnson ran all over them. So those are a couple that stick out to me as really good memories watching these games growing up.
Did Oregon State give you much recruiting kind of attention out of high school?
I was invited to their junior day, but other than that, no.
Is there any slight?
No, because I had no Division I offers. So I could hold a grudge against 200 schools if I wanted to, but that doesn't really seem reasonable on my end.
Have you thought about just what these next couple of weeks are going to be like for you with your career coming to an end?
I've thought about it, but I've kind of tried to block it out and wait until these next couple of weeks are over with. We got a lot to play for right now, and we're trying to win these next couple of weeks. And I'm taking it one game at a time right now, and that requires taking it one day at a time each practice. And obviously the goal is to win each week, and so we're going to try and do that to put ourselves in a good position come bowl season.
Going back to the pregame stuff Saturday, what did Alex kind of do on the sideline, kind of to just make sure everything was going the way that it needed to go? It looked like he was as vocal as a guy can be when he's not in uniform.
Yeah, he does. He does a really good job. Obviously, unfortunately, he's had that experience last year of missing games, and so he kind of knows what role to play when he's not suited up, and so he did a really good job of communicating with us what he was seeing. He was communicating to Coach Clem, so there was another set of eyes on us, and that was super helpful to all of us on Saturday.
How much did you worry at first against Washington that was it? Did you fear at all when you got rolled up on?
Oh yeah, I kind of thought my season might have been over, and just looking at the clip again, I'm pretty fortunate I didn't do anything worse. Lucky not to have broken anything or torn any ligaments, so I'm just really glad I was able to get back out there this Saturday.
Think about making any big center checks into pass plays?
No, I was going to leave that to Alex. That kind of seems like his thing apparently. So,
As a guy who played there in both 18 and one of the few who played there in both 18 and 20, particularly 20, just what were your memories of that foggy, miserable kind of setting that was? And
yeah, obviously a tough loss that day. Then that's the last memory we have of going up to Corvallis as a group. So, we've definitely got a chip on our shoulder going up there this time that we don't let that happen again. And it's going to be a great challenge for us. They're a really great team. They have a really good defense, and they're playing well right now. Over their last, I think, 5 games, they're only giving up 12 points a game or something like that. So their defense is playing well, and it's going to be a great opportunity for us on Saturday.
how much did you see after the game in terms of like the parade of cars and all the honking horns and stuff? Like, because I have no idea. Like, we're in the box. We're obviously very separate from you guys, talking via Zoom and stuff post game. Like, I didn't even know going onto the bus. Like, did you see all that like ended up happening post game
in Corvallis? No, I had no idea about all that. I had no idea that stuff was going on.
What makes 52, whether you're at center or guard, you're probably going to be facing him a good bit. What makes Rawls a challenge?
We haven't got to watch too much film on them, individually yet. But like I was saying, they have a really good defense, and their front does some stuff moving around and things like that. That's going to present some problems to us, and we've got a great opportunity on Saturday to go prove ourselves against a good defense.
This guy's been here as long as you have and handle snaps when you do. What makes Carson so good at what he does?
Carson battles.
Yeah.
It's hard to be consistent, like he has, and I think this week's coming up on like 62 career starts or something like that, which is got to be the most in Oregon history, I would think. So pretty cool for him, and it's really nice to have a consistent guy like that, long snapping every game.
Is that going to be this week in Oregon trivia? That the question this week?
Oh, you've been checking out the
I'm a
episodes?
viewer.
Okay, I like that.
This week's power rankings.
No, this week's power rankings, we did some Oregon football jerseys. We had Cam McCormick on, so we had a good trivia question this week. Actually, just touched on it with the War of the Roses from 2009. So appreciate the views.
I was going to say, being that he has the most teammates in Oregon history, and you guys are all part of the answer, I didn't know if that was the question this week. Yeah.
No, that stuff's been fun, and wasn't sure we were going to get that many views this early, but hey, man.
Proud.
Were you close with any of the Oregon State in-state kids growing up? I know like Jaden at Westland, Luke Musgrave out in Bennett. Any of those guys?
No, not really. I know they have Carter Newman is a walk-on tight end up there, and I was the same age as his brother, Berkeley. We played high school ball together. Actually, we played since like elementary school. We played football and stuff together growing up, and so I know Carter just because of his older brother, but I don't have much relationship with many guys at Oregon State.
What does it mean to you, Ryan? Of like, not only did you obviously did what you did this past week, but like so many of you guys, but especially Bo. Like when you're a guy where like, this means so much to you as a program and your dad, and like when this like is who you are and will be for forever. For a guy who comes here for a year and this is an adopted situation and he has to win the job and all those things, right. Like how do you place a value on that as a guy who like embodies what this is supposed to be?
Yeah, he totally embodies just what you want in a college football player. A guy, he embodies what you want in a guy in your program. Just the toughness Bo had to be able to go out there on Saturday and play through what he was playing through, like just unreal amount of toughness. And he barely took any reps during the week, healing that ankle up, and it was awesome to see him out there. And I think that kind of gave the whole team a morale boost. And you saw us kind of come out early on fire, and I think he played a huge role in that. So it's great having a guy like Bo on your team.
At what point did you kind of find out pregame that he was going to go? Was it 90 minutes, 30 minutes?
The day before, we kind of had a good idea that we thought he was going to be able to go. He did a workout, and the coaches were saying, hey, he looks pretty good. So there was kind of rumors going around that, hey, we think he's going to be good to go. And then I asked him on Saturday, I said, hey, how you feeling? He was like, I'm going to be good to go. So that was what we all knew Bo was going to be playing.
Was there a time during the week that you were in the cast that he wasn't getting treated?
No, Bo was in there. Bo was in there just as much as I was, and Bo was even a little down last week. After the injury. I mean, understandably so. Anytime you get hurt, it's not fun. And just I was in there. I kind of helped pick him up a little bit. I'd like to think anyway. And it was like I said, it was just good to have him out there Saturday. And I don't know if we could have done it without him.
Talking to Stephen Jones, he said he felt like he was feeling almost as like another coach on the offensive line, helping some of the younger guys. What did you see from him in that kind of a role?
Yeah, I mean, Steve was awesome in terms of his as a leader. When not being able to play, and he was really vocal, and everything he saw, he communicated to us. He communicated with Coach Clem, and just like I said earlier, you know, Alex being out there was like an extra set of eyes as a coach this week. You know, unfortunately he couldn't go, and having Steve was the same thing when he was out. He was able to communicate what he saw, talk to Coach Clem, and having an extra set of eyes is always helpful with offensive line play.